continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today.
And the slam!
161 years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree here, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking to you. The Bulldogs will light the lamp on. Boom, out, left, right, go.
Mike Prang, Assistant Sports Information Director here at Adrian College with senior forward Rob Warwick and junior forward Kendall Bellamy. Guys, you're 0-2 to start the season. Kind of what's the game plan outside of the coaches, but like what's the game plan between you guys and your team as a bubble, you know, going forward, getting back onto that winning grind like you guys were last year? Rob, we'll start with you.
We only have 2 returners this year who got significant minutes. It's a brand new team. We got new assistant coaches who are just learning how to play together. I mean, we lost the 2 games by a combined 10 points. That's incredible with only having 2 returners.
Kendall, what about you?
I feel like we just need to bring more energy and intensity to every game, be more focused on and off the court, and come together as a whole to make sure that we can bring a dub to the home.
So last year you guys lost Jeremy Kalanji and Keyshawn Wyatt Morris due to graduation. Jordan Harris, a big part of the team last year, he was transferred this year. You guys kind of stepping in, being those team leaders. How's that been so far?
Last year, Jordan's leadership was incredible on the court. We definitely have to step into those roles and just push the intensity in practice and keep the focus and make sure the guys know what they're doing and even be a leader off to make sure we get in the training room and we get to classes. So it hasn't been a big toll on us. I think we distribute that leadership role quite well. So I think we've done well.
Well, with the leadership role I've been taking on, I'm just trying to make sure I bring a positive mind to the floor every day and just try to bring the best I can and try to get the group to bring everything they can bring to the table. And
With COVID-19 season, things are kind of still up in the air. The MIAA has yet to confirm kind of a conference schedule. How is that like perceived to you guys, and what's going through your minds when you guys don't even know right now, hey, are we playing conference? Is there an NCAA tournament right now? Are we going to be an automatic bid, an at-large bid, things of that nature?
For me, that doesn't matter. We play one game at a time regardless if we have a conference season or not. We approach every week like it's a conference game. We're going to go this Saturday to Spring Arbor, and we're going to approach them just like we would Hope, Calvin, one of the top schools. So yeah, it's disappointing not knowing if we're going to end up playing for a championship, but we're one of the few schools that get to play basketball, so it's a blessing to be able to play.
yeah, just like Rob said, it's a blessing to be able to play every day, and I just take my opportunity and I try to run with it every time I step on the court, just knowing that you never know when it's going to be your last time to play. So I just try to bring the intensity and the effort every day because I never know when it will be my last day I can play.
Talk about with you guys being kind of the team leaders on the team with being 2 key returners. Talk about how it's been team chemistry-wise, welcoming new guys like Gabe McDevitt, Michael Williams, Kobe Price, people like that.
For me personally, I have to take a step back sometimes and put myself in an 18-year-old's shoes. I'm older on the team, so I have to remind myself that the game is way quicker than what it was when I was 18. So having them come in and then being able to retain as much information as possible and be able to perform at a high level is excellent. Shows real maturity in those guys, and it's going to be fun to play with them throughout this year and the next year.
It's playing with all these new guys. It's very fun. It's exciting to learn how to play with new people because, like, I've been playing with Jordan Harris since 8th grade, so it's just playing with new people and figuring out how they play and incorporating their game into a winning formula is always a good way to bond and get closer as a team.
Talk about how things have sort of changed. Last year, you guys had 2 assistant coaches. This year, we have 2 completely different assistant coaches, and Tim Kaiser and Peter Smith. Talk about like how things have kind of changed since last year, but it's been changing for the better of the team.
Last year we had 2 great assistant coaches, and then this year we have another 2 great assistant coaches, Coach Kaiser and Coach Smith. I played with Coach Smith at Shrine, so I know him as a player-to-player, and now as a player-coach. We click quite well, and then also with Coach Kaiser, he brings new drills every single day, and then he also works with the guys every single day. Both of them do, which is excellent. They sit down and watch film with us. They do the little things, and honestly, they're some of my best assistant coaches I've had.
Yeah, with the new assistant coaches coming in, they have brought a new energy and a new life to the team that is very good for the program, I believe, and I feel like they got big things in store to help us bring some wins home.
Talk about your expectations for the rest of the year, kind of moving forward from here on out.
The expectation is to win. Every day is to win. Win the drill, win the sprint. I mean, my expectation is to, regardless of the score at the end, is to give it our all. And at the end of the day, if the scoreboard doesn't come out our way, at least we can hang our head, or not hang our heads, and come out saying like we got better, and we move on to the next.
My expectations for the season is to win, you feel me? Honestly, it's to get back to another MIAA championship. That's what my goal is for the season. But as of right now, I'm just taking it one day at a time, just getting better, trying to be the best player I can be every day and make sure my teammates are the best players they can be every day.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Joining me now are the new 2020-21 assistant coaches of the Adrian Bulldogs men's basketball team, Coach Tim Kaiser and Coach Peter Smith. Guys, kind of start with an opening statement so far on your season, starting 0-2 on the year and kind of moving forward from here on out. Tim, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so obviously last weekend, first of all, we were grateful to play 2 games, given everything that's going on. Being able to get out on the court with the guys is a blessing. But 2 results that, obviously we want to win every game that we play. Every time we lace up our shoes, we want to win. So disappointing results, but we saw some good things, I thought, in the trying game. We did some really good things defensively at times. I thought, we were playing a group that had been together a little bit more than us, and we fought through some adversity. We turned the ball over 23 times, which you can't do. But we played really hard, and we stayed together, and we stayed the course, and we gave ourselves a chance to win. I thought, a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of just miscommunication down the stretch, or else maybe that's a one possession game with a minute to go instead of 2 or 3. And then I think in Manchester, we learned a good lesson. You have to guard the basketball every time you play in college. Guys are too skilled, they shoot the ball too well, and we weren't ready to guard when the ball was tipped, and Manchester made us pay. But again, we stayed together, did some really good things in the second half, gave ourselves a chance to win the game, and just didn't. So obviously not the way we want to start a season, but the sky isn't falling. Saw some good things, and we're just going to keep getting better every day. Make sure next time we go out there we're ready to go.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, obviously we're 0-2, we don't want to be, but I think we saw some really promising things. We saw 2 very different basketball teams that we had to guard. One in trying that's very bruising, sets a lot of hard screens, and then another one that gets out in transition, shoots a lot of threes. So we got to guard 2 very different teams, and then we have another team that we get to guard that's going to be different. So guarding these different brands of basketball early on is going to be really good for us moving forward. But we're 2 games into it, very early season, very young team as far as how long they've been together. But I'm very thankful and blessed to be a part of it. I think Coach Kaiser feels the same way. I think there's a lot of promise going forward, so we're both excited about it, as well as Coach Lindsay.
Pete, you're a 2019 graduate of Trine University. We just played them game 1 of the year. With this being your first collegiate coaching job, kind of how does it feel to go from a player just a year ago now to an assistant coach at a different school that's still in the MIAA?
Well, first of all, I love the coaching side of it. obviously it's like the closest thing to playing, which you can't really replace. But as a competitor, I love it, and just like I said, it's a great group of guys. Being around them every day, working these guys out, and developing relationships with it is very rewarding so far. I mean, I know it hasn't been very long, but I've learned a lot. There's so much more to learn, and I think just taking it one day at a time and being really open, being a sponge around Coach Kaiser and Coach Lindsay has been really important. But yeah, being on the bench and coaching, it's very different, but I like it so far, and I'm trying to, I guess, do the very best that I can to help us win. But, yeah.
Tim, you came from first Heidelberg, and then you went to Muhlenberg. Now you're coming to Adrian. All this over the course of 4 years. Kind of talk about how Adrian's kind of welcomed you with open arms, and how your coaching philosophy from previous schools is kind of transitioning into how Adrian plays.
Yeah, first off, I mean, from the day I got here, the guys, first and foremost, have been very welcoming. It's been a treat to be able to be involved with them, and get to know them, build relationships with them over the past 3 months has been awesome. And one thing, being at 2 different schools in my coaching career, I've been able to see just different styles of basketball. I played one style, Heidelberg played a different style, Muhlenberg plays a different style. So there's different parts from each group that I've tried to, just bring ideas to and see if it's something that could fit for us. Just try and find different ways to help us get better, different aspects of the game. But my first 3 months here have been fantastic. I mean, when you get to work with really great people, it's really rewarding. And like Coach Smith said, coaching is the next best thing from playing. And as a competitor, it's what I love to do. And working with some really great guys makes it even 10 times better.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mike Prang, Assistant Sports Information Director at Adrian College, here with head men's basketball coach Kyle Lindsay. Coach, you're 0-2 this season to start. Kind of what's your plan and expectations going forward here on out?
Yeah, I think the expectation is just to get better every single day. It's an interesting year for sure, with so many question marks out there. We've really just tried to focus on keeping things simple and really improving our group. We have a lot of new faces, guys that we're counting on this year that weren't playing as much last year or are brand new this year. So, we just got to keep our minds in the right place, and what we've tried to do up to this point is just focus on offensive skill development and the defensive fundamentals. So I think this is the type of group, hopefully, that we're not gonna be playing our best basketball right now. It's gonna be hopefully down the road. It's not gonna be today. It's probably not gonna be tomorrow. But we are getting better at some things.
Talk about kind of like the transition between leadership on the team. Last year you had Jeremy Kalanji, Keyshawn White-Morris, we lost to graduation. Jordan Harris transferred at the end of the season, but now you got Robert Warwick coming back, Kendall Bellamy, and then now those new guys that you talked about as well. Kind of talk about how they're taking the big role as the new leaders on the team.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them new leaders. It's just, yes, their role is a lot more significant this year as leaders. Last year we had, with Kalanji and Keyshawn, they knew, being 3- and 4-year guys, they were naturally leaders. Robert Warwick was a leader last year, very vocal. Same with Connor, same with Kendall. So I think the difference this year is that it's just more significant, and really impressed so far with their leadership. Those guys are vocal every day at practice. Connor Pelham has been out with some health issues for the last few weeks, but he's still a dominant voice at practice. And it's good for our new faces and some of our younger guys to see that and be around it, and hopefully they can kind of catch on pretty soon here.
2 newcomers this season that you have in the starting lineup so far, Michael Williams out of Chicago, and then also Kobe Price as well. Talk about those key players on the team kind of taking the spot in the starting 5.
Yeah, what Mike does really well, I mean, he's got obviously some physical tools, being 6'10", and he's again another guy whose basketball best basketball is ahead of him. But what's impressive about him is his serious approach to the game, very mature, for an 18-year-old. You know, he wants to get better. He's really serious about it. So I think we're excited for his future. Again, you know, we're going to have to be patient with him, and he's going to have to be patient too. But if he keeps working every day like he is, he's going to be a really nice player. And Kobe Price provides that maturity, just leadership experience more than anything else. You know, he's a guy, he went to Wayne County Community College, so he's played college basketball for 2 years. And not to mention, he's 6'4", really athletic, really strong, so it definitely gives us a nice physical presence out there.
Another guy who's a freshman this year that's been getting quite a bit of minutes off the bench and kind of one of your better three-point shooters, Gabe McDevitt. Kind of talk about him and his role on the team.
Yeah, he's very confident, as he should be. He's, you know, unlike a lot of freshmen at this point in their first year, he plays without fear. He's very smart. He understands the game. He knows where he needs to be at both ends of the floor, and he knows what he does well. So very capable shooter. We knew coming in that he was really skilled and had a high basketball IQ. You know, he's got great length on the perimeter. Needs to get stronger, and he will, because he's a really hard worker. So he's been really consistent too, which is very uncommon for a freshman every day at practice.
One of the things going on is the MIAA is still yet to kind of confirm a conference season. They're in the works of it. It sounds like they're getting pretty close, but right now we don't know who we're playing when it comes to the conference season. We don't really have much information on the conference tournament. Talk about like how that kind of might sit in the back of your mind, where we don't know where we're going to be coming back January 1.
Yeah, we don't know, so we can't really worry about it. You know, that's the approach we've kind of taken as a program. We're just really grateful and extremely fortunate for every practice we can have, any playing or game opportunity that we can have is super exciting to us. So, you know, how soon the wins are going to come, I don't know, but, you know, we're going to approach every day, treat it as an opportunity to get better, because we never know when it could be taken away from us again. So, you know, we're going to go out there, take advantage of it. You know, we played 2 games. We got another one coming up tomorrow, exhibition game against Spring Arbor. The week after that, we're going to go to Bluffton. And then, you know, we have some things lined up even after that too. So the MIAA conference season, that, you know, that'll all play itself out. I think we'll be ready to go with whatever gets determined, but I don't think we can, you know, through this whole thing, I think the right approach is just to be positive and optimistic about it. That's all you can do. You can't worry about whether, you know, it doesn't happen or that it's shortened. It really doesn't matter to us, because no matter what, we're just trying to get better. That's all we're trying to do and all we're focused on. I think everything else will play itself out.
Last year, we made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. A big team accomplishment, and then even for you as a head coach, kind of a personal accomplishment as well. Even though we did kind of go 1 and out last year, talk about how that game alone has made this team better, and then also you kind of gaining some experience and making yourself a better head coach as well.
Absolutely. I think, you know, one thing we talked about after that game is we can't take the next step as a program unless we go play that game and we lose that game. You know, I think that really taught us a lot, and what we need to do as a program to be playing in that game and having that opportunity consistently. So, you know, I think, you know, for this year's team, every year's different. No matter who you have coming back, no matter how many new guys you have, it's a different deal every single year. And, you know, I think something that last year's team learned was when they decided to really hone in and make defense the most important thing to them, we got really consistent in the win column. This year's team is going to have to make the same decision. When defense is the most important thing to us, we're going to win some basketball games. But until that happens, you know, we're going to struggle. But you know, last year's team figured it out. You know, I think this year's team has its own strengths. So it's going to take time.
last question for you. This year you have 2 new assistant coaches, and Tim Kaiser coming over from Muhlenberg, and then now Peter Smith, 2019 graduate of Trine University. Talk about how those 2 coaches have assisted you and the team in a very positive manner.
Oh, it's been incredible. So impressed by those 2 guys. You know, Tim played at Waynesburg very successfully, Division III school, and then coached at Heidelberg and Muhlenberg. So he has seen basketball at our level at a very high level. And then Pete, 2 years ago, played at Trine, was conference MVP and a captain on the MIAA conference championship team. So I think Pete Green, you know, both those guys bring a unique experience. You know, they're both different from each other, but they bring just, you know, Pete understanding what it takes to be a champion, you know, and Tim seeing basketball at a high level. Both those guys, you know, I've just been so impressed with their work ethic. They're here every day. They have, you know, our guys are coming in, they're putting them through individual workouts all day long. So it's really nice to have that work ethic, that trust, and that loyalty is outstanding.
Awesome, Coach. Well, thanks so much. Tomorrow, like you said, an exhibition game on the road at Spring Arbor. Next week, we head to Bluffton, and then the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we host Siena Heights, trying to bring back kind of that rivalry trophy. I believe it's called the Milk Jug. Is that right? So good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.